Well, hello, and apologies for the delay, but welcome to round one of the NXTGEN Season 19 PMR, aka Power Max Racing WTCR League on Raceroom. Welcome to round one of we are here at Portimao, the circuit in the Algarve. Recently hosted the Formula 1 Portuguese Grand Prix, but tonight it's home of the NXTGEN Power Max Racing WTCR series. We are a few moments away from qualifying starting, and just to give you an update on who we've got racing and what kind of pace they're setting, the standings are there. Ben Walker is currently the quickest driver out there, he's in the pits at the moment, but we have a total of 21 drivers in today's race. More might come along over the next few minutes, but at the moment it's 21 racers in these TCR cars. The kind of manufacturers we got in store today, we've got the Hyundai, we've got Audi, Cupra's out there, Volkswagen Golfs, Lincoln Co, which is a sub-brand of Volvo. We've got Honda Civics out there, and we have got an Alfa Romeo somewhere out there in Matt Emmons. There we go. So qualifying is underway as everyone flocks to leave the pits. Nice camera angle there. And they all exit the pits. Now tow, aka slipstream, will be quite key on this track. We saw it in the Formula 1, how DRS was so effective here. It's kind of like that in most cars. The drafting here is quite the way of getting the upper hand on someone when it comes to overtaking, but it's a very tricky track to overtake on because of its long sweeping corners. And a lot of elevation changes, which means the car becomes imbalanced quite easy. But we'll see how these drivers get on. We're currently watching Zoraya Grunian, and now we're going to watch Ben Walker as the man who was quickest in practice leaves the pits. Ben Walker, we saw him in the test race last week. Pretty impressive driving from him. Didn't get himself a win, but he was threatening the top runners, such as Jamie Dory, who is our defending champion, just to remind you. And while we're on the subject of last season, we'll look at this season's roster. So this is what we've got coming up this season. We're on round one of Portimao. Then we're going to travel north to the United Kingdom and Kent for Brands Hatch Indy. Indy's the shorter layout, which we just saw in the British Touring cars. Then we go over the Atlantic to Road America, then back over the Atlantic to Belgium, the circuit of Zolder in Belgium. Then it's over to the Czechia, formerly known as the Czech Republic, for the Autodrom Most circuit. It's quite popular with bikes, is that circuit, and trucks. So it's going to be quite entertaining there. Then we've got a 2-week break for Christmas and New Year. Then we're back, but in Scandinavia for the Scandinavian Raceway, otherwise known as Anderstorp. Round 7 will be at the Mid-Ohio circuit back in the US. Then it's over the Pacific, or the other way, whichever way you want to go, to the Ningbo circuit in China. Then back to Europe for the final 2 rounds of Aragon, which just hosted the WTCR finale. And of course, round 10, it has to be at one of the most spectacular tracks of all. It is Spa-Francorchamps. So the drivers, most of them anyway, are out on their first flying lap. So we'll see who's setting the pace at the moment. It appears to be Jonas Lindberg, who's out at front. We'll take a look at the track as we watch the guys come through. So there's a lot of drivers on the first half of the circuit anyway. As they approach the end of Sector 2 now, they plunge down this hill through the dip. That's the entrance to Sector 3 there, and then back over the hill, and then back down the hill eventually. It is a it's a roller coaster track, as Lando Norris songfully put it when we were here in the Formula 1. So Jonas Lindberg will be the first of our drivers to set a time in the opening qualifying session of the season. We'll see how he gets on. Round the final corner, like a roller coaster. Up the hill he goes. DRS on? Nah, just kidding. And onto the front straight. He will cross the line now to set a invalid time. No, not an invalid time, a 1:52. We got a 1:51 from Zariah Garunian. Will Ford not far behind, just 2/10 down. Lee Horne goes quickest now with a 51.2. Neil Crave has put a time on the board in 4th place there. Per-Andre Sterler gets into 3rd. Fraser Rostons, we're watching there, gets himself into 8th. So 1:51 is 0.2 is the time to beat by Lee Horne twice. A Next Gen Power Max Racing Raceroom League champion. I believe it's only twice, but we'll see where Jamie Dorey is. Jamie Dorey, the defending champion, nearly a second off the pace at the moment. It's not a great start for him. The defending champion in 6th place at the moment. 6th isn't bad, but a second off the pace might worry him a little bit. Purple sector from Zariah Garunian. Purple sector means it's absolute best sector. Green means it's personal best. And if it's neither of them two colours, it's not very good. But he's purple again in sector 2. Those split differences you can see on the times at the bottom of the screen are relative to the split, or the sector, not the overall time. So you have to add the two together if your maths is good enough. It's less than a 1/10 up at the moment. Fine margins on such a large track, and he's got a little bit of track ahead of it, a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Excuse me. I'm not quite sure who that is in front of him. We'll just check the map. It's a new driver on me. It is Guedes, Arnaldo Guedes. He'll be setting his first lap of the session, but we'll watch Zariah Garunian as he's on purple splits. We'll see if this slipstream has helped him and not held him up. He approaches the line, and he gets into 1st. He dropped a little bit in actual fact, but the overall lap difference was 0.037, very, 0.048 actually. It's a very fine margin that. I'm sure Lee Horne could probably make one corner a little bit better here, another one better there, and he'll probably get back in front of Zariah. But Andre Sterler has put it in 3rd place at the moment, and we are watching Yunus Karbid, our representative from Africa, Morocco in particular. I wonder if he's a Mehdi Banani fan. I'm surprised he's not driving his car, but he's going with the Ascona 96 Cupra. And now we're on board with Neil Crave as Karbid reset to the pits, who was 5.3 seconds off the pace on his previous lap. He will be back in the pits to reset and go back out. 8 minutes left in the session. It's a 15-minute qualifying throughout the season. 22 drives in the server now, just to point out. It's a nice, fullish grid. Bulky grid, that's probably what I should say. So Neil Crave had a green 1st sector, but not so good in the 2nd sector. To see if he can make up for it in the 3rd. We are watching William Fall now, who has done a personal best in sector 1. And not far off the pace set by Zariah Garunian. Half a 1/10 down. Have to see if sector 2 he can keep it relatively the same or quicker. He approaches the end of sector 2 now. He's got a little bit of slipstream ahead of him, which might help, but no, it is neither a purple or a green box, which means a little bit off the pace, but he's still, as it stands, a little bit quicker than, well, relative to the difference of his time, he's still a little bit quicker than his personal best. He went a bit wide there, so it might not have worked out. Jeff Perkis coming across the line. Personal best in both splits. Personal best again in sector 3. He puts himself up to 8th. Still nearly a second off the pace. We'll have to see if the Leicester-based driver can get a better time later on, but who else is on it? William Fall. We'll have to see if he improves his time. Sector 2 wasn't very good. Sector 1 was good, so we'll have to see if he can improve his lap time with a good 3rd sector. The answer is no. Miles off the pace, in fact. He might have backed off a little bit Arnaldo Guedes, personal best in Sector 1, not so much in Sector 2. People are struggling now by the looks of it. I wonder if tyres are wearing and the track's getting a little bit warmer. William Foyle hooks up a personal best. It's picking on him because he's got pace here or thereabouts. Sterler also quicker than his personal best in Sector 1. So the drivers on the second row are looking to get better, but now third has been taken by Ben Walker. Ben Walker reset to the pits. He'll be wanting to get back out and set another 1 or 2 laps. I wonder how much we can fit in now. We've got 150. You've probably realistically, if you haven't left the pits yet, you're only going to get 1 full flying lap. As soon as the timer hits 0, that's it. Qualifying ends. It sends you off into the next session. You do not get to complete your lap. Jamie Dory gets himself into 4th place. That's a bit better from him, the defending champion, close to his last season nemesis, and he might have had a bit of a help from the number 9 driver in front. I can't quite work out who that is. Jacobson? Nope. It is the new driver to the series, Chanonier. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. The French is not the greatest, as you've probably heard before, but the new driver in the Honda is 16th at the moment. Not a bad debut for him. Who else do we need to look at? Neil Crave we're going to look at again. Personal bests in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Good Sector 3 here will get him further up the grid. It is very close for the top 4. This less than 2 tenths on a very, very large track like this. That's close. Plenty of opportunities to gain time. Plenty of places to lose time though on this track. Not a bad exit through there. Didn't use all the road. Might regret that, but we'll have to see. If another green sector comes up for Neil Crave across the line, it's green and it's half a second down as of that split. That puts Neil Crave into 8th. Justin Welbler has managed to take 7th place in the Lincoln Co. But we are watching Roy Plummer now, who was on a personal best as of Sector 1. Sector 2 not so good. Jonas Leenberg is also doing okay on this lap. Not a great Sector 1, but has hooked up Sector 2 really well. But that still remains about half a second off the pace. He might gain 1 or 2 places if this sector is equally as good as Sector 2. Zariah Garunian is in the pits. We'll cut back to Jonas Leenberg in a minute, but Zariah has decided not to do any more laps. He seems to think he's done enough. We'll have to see. Lee Horne is out on track, so we'll keep an eye on him. He has started flying lap very recently. But this is Jonas Leenberg. Can he get from 11th higher up? It's a green, and it puts him up to 9th. Not bad from the Swedish driver. Not bad at all. Making the switch to the Hyundai. Last season, I think he was in the Audi. And in the XTCR series, he was in an Audi. Fancy's changed this time. Now, Lee Horne has started a flying lap. I might have lied to you a few moments ago. Got a bit of a toe in front of him. Oh, he went wide coming out of turn 4 there. That might have invalidated his lap. It did. It did invalidate his lap. Lee Horne will not do another lap. But William Foyle down in 6th might give it a go. With a personal best in Sector 1. It's still nearly a 10th off the pace. Needs to be a little bit better than that. If my memory serves me right, the Volkswagen Golf is not actually a very good car around here. The longer wheelbases are usually better on this track, based on someone who's driven the cars before. Yeah, the Lincoln Co. and the Audi especially is brilliant around here. However, I might eat my words there as William Foyle sets a purple Sector 2. This is looking like a good lap from the Brit. As it stands, he would, if the lap were to end at the end of sector 2 there, William Foyle would take pole position by 5 thousandths of a second. We'll have to see if it can hook up sector 3 here. Here goes William Foyle round the final corner. Not many drivers left out on track. There's only 40 seconds remaining. The results are going to come up for us very soon. We know that. Cross line. Green. Is it any good? It's in. He's put in 5th. Okay, I'm a little confused by the splits there because it looked pretty good. But 5th will have to do for William Foyle. Guedes will come across the line. And it will put Guedes higher. We'll read through these now. But it is Zariah Garunian on pole position at the moment. Justin Welbelow's about to come across the line. Hasn't gone quicker, I believe. But Lee Horne second with Ben Walker in 3rd. Jamie Dory will line it up 4th place. 5th will go to William Foyle and Per-Andre Sturla 6th. Justin Welbelow 7th. We'll get the results back up just so we can read through them. Yeah, there's some of the results for you anyway. But yeah, Justin Welbelow puts it in 7th place. Neil Crave will go 8th. Jonas Leenberg in 9th. 10th will go to Fraser Rostant. Arnaldo Guedes at his home track. We'll put it on 11th. He's new to Exiled. Not Exiled, sorry, Next Gen. Get it right, Alex. 12th goes to Jeff Perkins. I expected a little bit better from Jeff, but we'll have to see how he can get on in the race. 13th goes to Alexander Jakobsen. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen qualifies in 14th place, who last week had a good outing at Laguna Seca in the pre-season test. Oguz Agan, Turkish driver, in 15th. The Frenchman of Chanonnière in 16th. Emil Holmberg will line it up 17th. Roy Plummer will line it up in 18th. Stephen de Gravelia in 19th. Matthew Adey in 20th. 21st went to Matt Emmons and 22nd went to Eunice Carbide. So that's your grid for race 1. We'll go through it briefly again just before we start the race as they're lined up on the grid. But it is Zariah Garunian who took the honours in the opening qualifying session of the season. I believe there is points for qualifying on pole. It might be 1 point. I might be wrong. I will have to find that out off Lee Horne later on today. But speaking of which, Lee Horne, the organiser of this league, previous champion in season 16 and 17. He beat me in season 16. But he takes 2nd place. But the defending champion is this man, Jamie Dory. 4th on the grid, so not a bad start for him as we reset for qualifying. So as the drivers line up on the grid, Zariah Garunian will start on pole position with Lee Horne in 2nd. Ben Walker in 3rd with Jamie Dory 4th. William Foyle will line up 5th in the Volkswagen. Per-Andre Sturla in 6th. And the grid goes on and on. We're about to start the opening round of the Next Gen Power Max Racing Season 19 WTCR League on Raceroom at Portimao Circuit Grand Prix. Grand Prix is the layout. And this is round 1. We're about to get underway. Just waiting for a few more drivers to grid up, and then the lights will come on. A bit of the flash of the lights there from Lee Horne saying hello to everyone. That was very polite of him. A long straight to lead down into the opening corner. And here we go. Lights are red. We're away for the opening round of the Next Gen Power Max Racing WTCR. Zariah Garunian gets in front. Ben Walker on the outside of Lee Horne as they go into turn 1. Lee Horne holds the inside and has the position at the moment. Zaraya gets away. We look back, William Foyle is alongside Jamie Dory as they come around turn 2, or turn 3, sorry. William Foyle on the inside of Jamie Dory. We're on board with Jamie Dory, 4th place, back where he started, as he looks to the inside of Ben Walker. Coming around the hairpin. Justin Welbler got at the inside of William Foyle momentarily, but has to back out of it. Justin Welbler has gained 1 place so far in passing Pierre-Andre Sturla. Here they go, round the corner of Portimao, and up the hill, and then back down. Zaraya out in front. Not comfortable yet from Lee Horne, but has held the lead thus far, so far. Up the inside of William Foyle goes Justin Welbler. William gives him room. Bit of a lunge from Justin, but it nearly pays off. And he has to tuck in back behind William Foyle. Going into the next corner. Over the blind crest, down towards the Sagres corner. We're on board with Pierre-Andre Sturla following Justin Welbler. Justin dropped off a little bit from William, but a good corner there so far from Sturla. Has to back off a little bit. Has Justin got the upper hand of pace in that link? All drivers go to the inside to cover their slipstream. Lee Horne not too far away from Zaraya as they go into turn 1, ready as they start lap 2. Into turn 3. Pierre-Andre Sturla's dropping down the order. Something happened there. We can't catch a replay, sadly, but something happened to Pierre-Andre Sturla on the straight. In fact, he might have broke a little bit too late and screwed up the first corner a little bit and spun it. Maybe I'll have to see if we can find out later. But Lee Horne hounding Zaraya, not letting him get away just yet. This is the battle for 7th. Jonas Lindberg and Neil Crave. And he managed to get up the inside of Neil Crave. Going into Portimao. It's a slowdown penalty for Matt Emmons, by the way, if you're wondering there. And the slingshot move from Fraser Rostons gets him alongside Jonas Lindberg. Here they come up the hill. This is Portimao, not the previous corner. And a spin there. He was turned around by Jonas Lindberg, but he managed to keep going. Fraser does. On the inside of Lindberg there is Jeff Purkis. On the outside of him is Neil Craven, August Agan right behind them as well. Up the inside goes Jeff Purkis. 3 wide as they come down into Sagres. Jeff gets ahead of August and Neil Crave tucks in behind the Hyundai of Jonas Lindberg. Lee Horne's still out in front there, but let's watch this battle here. Neil Crave seemed to go a little bit wide. Jeff Purkis might be able to slip it up the inside going into turn 1. Not quite. Neil Crave had a better run out of the corner. And it's still a slowdown penalty for Matt Emmons. Apparently he hasn't cleared it yet. I wonder if he knows about it. Lee Horne right up on the tail of Zaraya. Come up the hill, down towards the hairpin of Dorey Veep. Lee Horne isn't quite lining up a move yet. A lot of Brits in the top 10, but it is Ukraine out in front at the moment. Will Lee line up a move here? No, he won't. Lee Horne is quite a conservative driver. He tends to go for the moves he knows he can make. He doesn't seem to go for the risky ones, but he might surprise me. A slowdown penalty for Jeff Purkis. And he might have run a bit too wide going into the corner's actually called Samsung. Now he's heading into Portimao. He doesn't seem to have served it yet. He runs a bit wide. Oguzagan in 10th place. trying to get it alongside. Lee Horne still following Zoraya, trying to get the upper hand with a good run out of one of the corners. Covering his inside was Zoraya Garunian there. Very, very close as they come onto the final corner. Who will have the better run coming out of Galp here? Lee's looking very, very tidy and very, very close. Trying to get it up the inside. Just tucks back in. Very, very neat corner there from Zoraya Garunian, defending his ground pretty well. None of these drivers have ballast on at the moment. That will all change after this race. They will all get success ballast based on where they finish. First will get 60 kilos, and it will run down by 6 in each position to 6th, who gets 6 kilos. Slow down penalty for Oguzagan, who was dropped to 11th place. Think of something quick because Ben Walker will not mess around. Ben Walker will eventually catch up to these two. He's edging closer and closer per corner the more Lee Horne sits behind Zoraya. A little bit of a gap has developed between Zoraya and Lee Horne, but it might close up sooner or later. William Foyle right on the rear of Justin Welblove. Bit of a better corner through Portimao was Foyle's line there. But can't quite get close enough to the Lincoln Co driver. Another drop. No, sorry, it's not another slowdown. It is Oguzagan with a drive-through penalty for ignoring slowdowns. Now we did say that it was hanging on the screen for a long time, but he's paid the price. He's ignored it for long enough, and he's going to have to head into the pits to serve a drive-through penalty, not what you want on the opening race of the season. As Lee Horne got a bit of a draft, he has gains on him. Is he going to get late enough on the brakes? Not quite. It's a difficult corner to overtake on here. Turn 1. Seemed a bit easier in the Formula 1 cars. Oh, it was... Horne probably could have gone for a slip up the inside there, but not to be. Ben Walker's within a second of Lee Horne and Zoraya Garunian. Jamie Dory dropping back a little bit. Ben Walker in the other Hyundai. Not necessarily a teammate or manufacturer teammate to Zoraya. They're all privateers out here. They all choose whatever car they want. But Lee Horne very much in a Hyundai sandwich here. It's very close between these three now. Down the hill through a dip and back up towards Portimao. It's a slow down penalty for Stephen de Gravelia. Stephen got himself up to 15th. Quite far down actually. I think he started 19th. But he's serving the slowdown now as he lets by Roy Plummer. Well, he doesn't let by Roy Plummer. Roy very safely trying to get past, and Stephen still hasn't served that slowdown. Sterler trying to make up some ground behind him. We have to cut away because this is the battle for lead. And it is Lee Horne. A good run. Will he be able to get it up the inside? Here we go, side by side, not quite. That's the gap. Lee Horne keeps looking. He's trying to find a way alongside, and these cars are very, very difficult to maintain good speed from a slipstream and carry on the momentum. It's very difficult to do that in these cars. I'm not really sure why. I don't know the physics behind it. Hairpin. Oh, Lee Horne right on the rear of Zoraya. Maybe a little bit of a nudge there. Get a move on Zoraya. I want to get in the lead. Well, no, Soraya, I'm here. I want to get in the lead. Does not get a move on. Definitely doesn't want that to happen. Justin Wellbeloved battling with William Foyle. They've been greeted by Fraser Rostance behind them. Fraser charging up the field a little bit. I think he started... He didn't start there. We'll just check where he started. He started 10th, actually. He's moved up 3 places. Not bad from Fraser. Oh, bit of a shaky line going into... Tight left-hander there for William, but he keeps Justin behind him. These 3 still really close, but nothing progressing just yet. I mean, it's not the most back and forth racing you'll see in touring cars, but they're so competent on pace that they're struggling to get the edge on each other because of that. But you can see the Audi's quicker than Hyundai going down the straights here. Will Lee Horne go for the move? He's not close enough. He backs out of it. Can he line up the hairpin? He's had a better run out of turn 1. Bit of a nudge up the rear, might have slowed that down a bit. Will he go up the inside? Lee Horne will go for it. Doesn't make it, but that means Ben Walker's going to try around the outside. Can't quite get up the inside for turn 3. Not quite close enough to go for a move into the hairpin here. You kind of have to think if Lee Horne could get in front of Soraya, he could probably pull away. 3 minutes to go. We'll have about... I think we'll have another 2 laps to run after this one's complete. Jamie Dory very much on his own. Can't quite keep up with the guys at the front here, but he's pulling away from William Ford behind him. Fraser Rostance has managed to find his way past Justin Wellbeloved. Another place gained for Fraser in his escapade in this race. Jeff Perkins has done well. He's moved up to 9th from, we'll just check, 12th. Back at the front, Lee Horne. Oh, it's so close, and he's got to be careful of Ben Walker. Ben Walker looks... Oh, I thought he'd found his way up the inside of Lee Horne there. And if you can find your way on the inside on this corner, you've got a big advantage. Now, will this be the moment for Lee? The Audi cruises up to the underpowered Hyundai. It's not close enough for a move. Or is it? Nope, not quite. Soraya had a better line through that corner there. Ben Walker right on the rear of Lee Horne, trying to find his way around the outside or undercut him. He can't quite do it. Jamie Dory in the background. If these guys start battling intensely for the next lap and a half, they might be able to catch up and capitalise on the battle here. Very much more Lee Horne can do by the looks of it. He's trying everything, but Soraya is defending really well. He has made very little error, has Soraya. Slow down penalty for Sturler. His worsening race gets worse. He was very much looking like a contender for the top 5, but is now barely hanging on to the top 20 by the looks of it. Go. We're about to start the final lap around Sagres. It's the final corner. Better line from Lee Horne there. He might have a better run on Soraya now. Use all the track he can. Ben Walker's dropped back a little bit from these two. Lee Horne in the slipstream, gaining and gaining. He moves to the inside, probably a bit too early. Oh, it's the checkered flag. Well, that took me by surprise. I thought we had an extra half a minute. But Zariah Garunian takes the win in this race. It's a little bit of a shocker to me. I honestly thought we had an extra lap. But Zariah Garunian takes race 1. An exciting battle between him and Lee Horne. Ben Walker takes the 3rd spot on the podium with Jamie Dory in 4th place. William Ford came through in 5th. Fraser Roston's an impressive rise to 6th. Justin Welblove will take 7th in the link. Jonas Leenberg 8th. Jeff Perkis rising from 12th to 9th, takes 9th, and there is your race order. Lee Horne with the fastest lap and carry on from where we were. Neil Crave takes 10th place. I think the reverse grid might well be 10th. I'll have to find out. Guedes on his debut to Next Gen takes 11th. Jakobsen 12th. 13th Holmberg. Roy Plummer in 14th. Shannonier in 15th. 16th was Andre Sturler after a bad race from him. To Gravelia 17th. 18th was Matthew Adey. Matsby Pedersen 19th. Matt Emmons with the numerous slowdowns in 20th. Agan, 30-second penalty, failed to serve his drive-through by the looks of it. Takes 21st. And Eunice Carbide did not finish. Takes 22nd. We are going to go for a quick interval while the guys set up race 2. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back. Race 2 coming up very shortly as the drivers join the session. They get to do a little bit of practicing before they head out for race 2. Now, I've had my questions answered, and race 2 is in fact reverse grid of the top 8. So what we will do is we'll get up the results of race 1 just so we can remind ourselves. So there we go, Zariah Garunian will line up 8th on the grid for this race and will carry 60 kilos of ballast. Lee Horne will line up 7th, 6th will go to Ben Walker. I don't know why I've done it this way. So we'll go to 8th place. Leenberg will put it on, he'll be on the pole position for race 2. Justin Welblove in 2nd. 3rd will go to Fraser Rostens, and 4th William Foyle. So we'll have to see how this race goes, because the top 3 in the previous race, Zariah, Lee and Ben Walker, they struggled to battle one another. Neither of them got past either of themselves. So we'll have to see how this race handles with some, no disrespect, potentially slightly slower guys now in front of them. It might mix things up a bit. That's the beauty of the reverse grids anyway. Jeff Perkis and Neil Crave narrowly missing out. But the reverse grid for race 3 is the top 15. So be sure to look out for who finishes 15th in this race. But this is the second race of season 19 here at Portimao. I'll keep plugging the series while I can, but this is what we've got coming up over the next 12 weeks. We've got a 2-week gap in between round 5 and round 6. But we've got Brands Hatch Indy coming up next week. Nice short track, that'll be very dramatic. Then over the Atlantic to Road America, back over for the Circuit of Zolder in Belgium. Down to the Czech Republic, or Czechia as it's now known as, for the Autodrom Most Circuit. 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year. Over to Sweden for the Scandinavian Raceway, aka Anderstorp. Mid-Ohio, round 7. Ningbo in China will host round 8. Then back into Europe for the penultimate round at the Motorland Aragon in Spain. Then over to Belgium again for the finale at Spa-Francorchamps. It's an exciting season we've got ahead of us. And if you do want to get involved, all you need is pedal, wheels, you need the game. Pedal, wheel, pedals, wheel. I've got to plug the series a lot better than that. Pedals, wheel. You need the game, which is free, just to let you know, on Steam. But the content does cost. I believe the purchase of the WTCR 2019 pack comes to around about... I'll find this out very soon. It costs about £10 to purchase the entire pack, but you don't need the entire pack if you just want to buy one car. If there's one you like in particular, like if you like the DHL yellow Cupra, feel free to get just that, and each car on its own costs £3.58. The tracks do cost as well. They range between something like £2.50 and £4.50, but given the racing that you can get involved with, it's totally worth it. It's a great sim to get involved in. If you want to get involved in the series, just contact Lee Horne. He is racing in this, as you've probably noticed, but he is the man to contact. You need to get hold of NXTGEN Racing Facebook group, join that, get hold of Lee Horne, and you get involved in these Monday night touring car races. So we got just over a minute before we get underway for race 2. A couple of guys doing a little bit of practicing. Some of these guys will have ballast now, so they'll want to get used to how the car feels now they have ballast. I believe it's fixed setups as well, which is double trouble because you can't change your car to suit the ballast, which changes your weight distribution in the car. It's quite difficult. You're given an extra person, or an extra mini person, or a little bit of extra weight, whatever. You get given extra weight, and it really does upset the balance of the car, the speed of the car, and there's nothing really to do about it. You just got to deal with it. So just a reminder of how the grid will go for race 2. It is the top 8 reversed. Jonas Lindberg will qualify on pole position. Not qualify. He will line up on pole position. Justin Welbelow will start in second. Not the greatest of races for Justin. Dropped down quite a few places in that race. Fraser Rostons with an impressive race, climbing from 10th to 6th. Look out for him in this race. He will line up on 3rd. Will Foyle will line up 4th. Jamie Dory 5th. Ben Walker in 6th. Lee Horne 7th. And Zoraya Garunian with maximum ballast will line up 8th. So here we go. We're about to get race 2 underway. The drivers will line up on the grid. And we'll be underway very soon for the second race of the first round of Season 19. Here we go, all the cars are lined up on the grid. We're away for race 2. As Jonas Lindberg got a good start, I'm not quite sure. There's an Audi straggling behind, but Jonas Lindberg looks to be leading into turn 1 with Justin Welbelow slotting in behind him. Will Foyle is on the inside of Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory's had a great start there, put out wide by William Foyle by the looks of it, but he's into 4th as they go into turn 3. Oh, Justin and William banging doors a little bit. Here's Jamie Dory back up alongside William Foyle on the outside as he comes down into the hairpin. William Foyle not giving much room, puts him on the grass. Oh, Jamie Dory won't be happy about that, but he managed to muscle his way back onto the track. Dirty tyres potentially. Up his inside goes Ben Walker. A great start for Ben Walker, gets himself up to 4th place so far. And Jamie Dory has lost out a little bit due to being off-road, being alongside William Foyle. This is Ben Walker in 4th place already. It's a slowdown already for Alexander Jakobsen, who was in 10th place. Not a great start for him. Race 1 winner, Zoraya Garunian, is up to 7th. He's ahead of Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory dropping like a fly at the moment. It's Fraser Rostons who had the bad start. Maybe he had his pit limiter on again. I'm not going instead of launch control. I'm not quite sure. But he's got a lot of ground to make up now. Out in front, Jonas Lindberg has opened up a bit of a gap ahead of Justin Welbelow. This is a good start for Jonas. And William Foyle has managed to keep himself in 3rd place. He's got Ben Walker right on his heels. Ben Walker, the biggest mover out of the top 3 so far. And he's got Lee Horne, Jeff Purkis right all over the rear of him. But it is Jonas Lindberg who leads at the end of lap 1. This is Jeff Purkis, not quite close enough on Ben Walker to make a move just yet. Into turn 1. Don't hit the curb then, don't run out too wide because it might give you a slowdown, it will give you instant points as well. William Foyle did run out wide. But nothing came of it, thankfully for him. Stephen de Gravelia is already out of the race. Actually, that's in the pit, so he must have had damage on this car. Shame for him. He'll be able to get back out for race 3, but remember, it's a reverse grid of 15. Who is in 15th at the moment? Well, the man who was looking to be battling for the top 5 in race 1, it's Pierre-Andre Sterler. To see if he can climb up the order a bit more. But as it stands, he will be on pole position for race 3 with no ballast, which is a big advantage for a quick driver. Up towards Portimao. Ben Walker holds on to 4th. He's got Jeff Purkis right over the rear of him. A bit of a wide line for Jeff Purkis. Will it work out? Not too sure, maybe not. But Justin Welbelow is hooking up a good lap here as he's gained on Lindberg a bit and got away from William Foyle. Soon that will hotten up. Back on board with Jeff Purkis. A little bit of a nudge up the rear of Ben Walker, who's in the Farfus Junior livery. Crocodile of cars battling for the top 3. Around the final corner comes Jeff Purkis. Will he get a good run on Ben Walker? It's another slowdown for Alexander Jakobsen. Not a great start for him. Jeff Purkis not quite gaining on Farfus Jr. Farfus Jr.? Ben Walker. Ben is not losing anything from William Foyle. This is looking like a good race so far from Ben Walker. Points-wise, anyway. We may as well start thinking about points. Justin Welbelev is right on the rear of Jonas Lindberg. Will this be the move? Don't think he's close enough, but he's going to look to the outside as Jonas Lindberg defends the inside. Justin was able to get alongside, but it's not quite the place to overtake round the outside. Checking on Ben Walker, still real close to William Foyle. William going wide again. As I said, slow down penalty for Per-André Sturla, who was in 13th. He'll drop down the order a little bit potentially as a result of that slowdown. And that was Lee Horne defending from Zaraya Garunian. Garunian not yet making the move on Lee Horne. Coming out of race 1, it'll be Zaraya who is leading the championship. He'll mix up a little bit now as Ben Walker has jumped one position ahead. And is potentially scoring more points outright at the moment than both Lee Horne and Zaraya Garunian. We saw Lee Horne just going a bit wide there coming out of Sagres. Justin Welbelev's dropped back a little bit from Jonas Lindberg, and Foyle is gaining on Justin Welbelev. Look how much quicker that Golf is down this straight than the Lincoln Co. But the Lincoln Co. is a beast through the corners. Oh, Williams going to go for it. The inside, no, he's had to back out of it. He's realised that was a silly move to make. Ben Walker, here he goes, up the inside, and that was opportunistic, but he's made it through. William Foyle went for a move that was probably never going to happen. Lost a position as a result of it. Ben Walker up to 3rd place. That's where he finished in race 1. He goes to the inside to defend from William Foyle's on the outside. Can he get it round him? Gets ahead on the braking, but Ben Walker holds the inside. Is he able to chuck, well, not chuck, but force William Foyle out wide? Keeps the position. This hasn't necessarily let Justin Welbelev get away, which is good for Ben. William Foyle will... Oh, that was a bit of a wonky corner for... Oh, and it's a pile-up. Jeff Perkins spun it and collected Zaraya Garunian. That's bad news for Zaraya. Jeff Perkins probably got a puncture as well. He's... Oh, yeah, that's a bit more than a puncture. Oh, dear me. This car just sinking into the abyss. That is kind of game over for Jeff Perkins. A shame, he was looking good in the top 5. But bad for Garunian, good for Lee Horne and Ben Walker as they're still in the running here. Lee Horne managed to avoid it. Jonas Lindberg pulling away from Justin Welbelev at the top of the field there. Fraser Rostons battling with Jamie Dory here. Lee Horne's dropped back a little bit from the top 4 and has got Jamie Dory to worry about now. It's a collective of next-gen drivers battling for the 5th place there. Crave, Rostons, Dory and Horne. William Foyle will be looking to get back past Ben Walker, but maybe using Ben Walker to catch up with Justin Welbelev. We look back to Jamie Dory. Not quite looking to get past Lee Horne yet. We'll have to see if these guys use each other to try and catch up with the guys up front who might start battling very soon. This is Ben Walker, not quite looking for a move yet on Justin. Tries an undercut. Not going to work just yet. Now this is where things get difficult later in the race when your tyres have degraded a little bit. It's a little bit tricky to go for moves on such a demanding track like this. William Foyle. That's another slowdown for Jakobsen. He can't quite line up something today, but he's still in 10th. Fair play to him. Still in 10th and he's getting slowed down. He's got a big cushion between him and Oguzagan. Behind him in 11th. Soraya is in 12th. We'll have to see if he can get himself back up the order a little bit. He's still in reverse grid contention. In fact, 15th is at the moment Roy Plummer, who's alongside Shannon Nier. Oh, Roy Plummer almost stopping. Perhaps thought he messed up a little bit there, but he slots into 15th behind Shannon Nier. But at the moment, Plummer will put it on pole position for race 3. This is Will Thor not quite close. Ben Walker not quite close enough to Justin Welberlove. This is an impressive meeting so far from Ben Walker. Jamie Dorey's managed to find his way past Lee Horne at some point on the previous lap. Jamie Dorey can probably get his head down and focus on catching up with William Full and the battle for, well, what is now the battle for first, as Jonas Leenberg is no longer getting away from these guys. In fact, he's losing out a little bit. Justin Welberlove is back to within a second of Leenberg. Ben Walker not yet lining up any moves. He's been on the move in this race until now. For just over 4.5 minutes to go. Nice wide late entry into, always forget the name of that corner, Samsung there. Down into Craig Jones. Look who Craig Jones is. Justin Welberlove defends the inside, or is that his racing line going through there? He goes wide. I don't think that was the most conventional of racing lines through that corner. Ben Walker all over the rear. Well, no longer. He had to take a wider line. But gains a lot under the braking. Going into the hairpin there. Now round to Sagres. Justin's gaining still on Jonas Leenberg. Well, rather, Jonas is not getting away from these lot. Still the battle for 5th. Still going between these 4. Neil Crave has managed to find his way past Fraser Rostance, getting away a little bit. I did say at the start of the race, look out for Fraser Rostance, but a bad start hindered him there. Oh, Justin Welberlove very late on the brakes going into the hairpin there. Recovers well. Stays ahead of Ben Walker. William Full, you can see in the mirrors of Ben Walker, he's all over the rear of Ben Walker. The brakes into the hairpin. They're pretty close now to Jonas Leenberg. Hit a very, very steep curve there, did Justin Welberlove, but I believe the Lincoln Co. is pretty good on the curbs. It's the Audi that's not very good on the curves, but don't have to worry about an Audi right now. Oh, Justin Welberlove getting very, very snatchy through Samsung there. Gets away with it. Down through Craig Jones. Jonas Leenberg's doing very, very well here. He's hanging on to first there. Doing just enough to not get involved in any battles. All he has to do is keep hitting his marks. And he could bring this home for a win. We'll have to see. Just to look back at other drivers. Hometown hero Arnaldo Guedes is in the top 10 here. It's been an impressive rise up from him. We'll just see where he finished in race 1. He's climbed 2 places. One of them with the demise of Soraya Garunian. But nonetheless, it's top 10 for him. Qualifies for ballast in the next race. Soraya Garunian isn't really gaining on Jonas Leenberg up front. But he's still in contention. Well, he's still in for a good starting position for race 3, but he's going to lose a lot of points in this race as a result of where he is right now. Nothing to report on this battle for first. Jonas Leenberg looking a bit wide, coming out the hairpin there. Will not have a good shape coming out of turn 4 here. What can these guys do? What can they do to either catch up with Lindbergh, to gain a position and gain points. Seems at this point in the race it becomes very, very difficult for these guys to overtake with degraded tyres and a hottening track. As Neil Crave is all over the rear of Lee Horne. Lee Horne will not want to lose any more points to Ben Walker. Curiously, we go back to look at Ben Walker, who's still right on the rear of Justin Welbler, hardly surprising. Justin's not far from Jonas Lindbergh yet again. The non-conventional line of Justin, he tries it again. Not quite working in the sense that Ben Walker coming out of that corner is always on his rear. Will Ben go for a move? Not quite. Justin moves his car across just in time to defend the move. They are fairly close to Jonas Lindbergh now. Jonas might just start panicking at this point. Or wide entry for Justin there, didn't work. Well, he's had a better exit. Goes a bit wide, that might not work out for Justin. He might get a slowdown, no he won't. William Foyle had a good run on Ben Walker. He was alongside him and it's it's done it again. Jonas Lindbergh takes it home to win the race. It keeps saying there's half an hour left. Ugh. Anyway, Jonas Lindbergh takes race 2. I can't believe I've done that again. Justin Welbler will take second place. Well defended from him. Ben Walker with a good rise from 8th to 3rd in that race. William Foyle will take 4th place. Jamie Dory 5th. Lee Horne 6th. Neil Crave comes home 7th. Fraser Rostance in 8th. 9th goes to the hometown hero of Guedes, Jakobsen. With the record of most slowdowns so far in this championship, takes 10th. Soraya Garunian with a nothing he could do happening. Gets collected by Jeff Purkis. Jeff Purkis' spin and demise into the underground of the Portimao circuit. But Garunian will take 11th. Ogus Agan, who had a disappointing race 1, takes 12th here. Shannon Nier 13th. Holmberg 14th. And Matthew Adey will bring it home in this race in 15th, and he'll be the one to start on pole position in race 3. The only alpha out there just misses out. Matt Emmons takes 16th. Eunice Carbide, a bit of a disappointing round for him so far today. He'll take 17th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen in 18th. So there you go. There's your classification. Ben Walker takes fastest lap, hardly surprising, and I think he gained the most places out of anyone. But the reverse grid will go 15, which means Matt Adey will start on pole position. Second will be Emil Holmberg. But it'll be interesting to see Ben Walker starting 13th in this next race to see how far he can get up the order. But look out for Soraya Garunian in this next race, as he is only starting 5th place and he'll have no ballast. So big opportunity for Soraya to make back some points in the next race. That's all from race 2 at the moment. We'll be back very soon with race 3. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Race 3 coming up very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just get the results of Race 2 back on your screen. There you go. This is how things unfolded in Race 2, and it'll also detail what the grid will look like for this race. So 15th will be on pole position, which will go to Matthew Adey in the Volkswagen Golf. Second, Emil Holmberg in the Audi. Lining up third will be Chanonnier. Ogus Agan will go up alongside. Row 3 will be taken by Zaraya Garunian, the race 1 winner, who will have no ballast in this race, so definitely one to look out for. Alexander Jakobsen will line up 6th. 7th, hometown hero of Arnaldo Guedes. Alongside him, Fraser Rostance. Then it's the remaining of the next gen racers, Neil Crave, Lee Horne and Jamie Dorey. Line up 11th will be William Foyle. 12th will be Ben Walker. Sorry, 12th will be William Foyle. Ben Walker will be 13th. I forgot how to say 13th then. 14th will be Justin Wellbeloved, and 15th, Jonas Leenberg, who took home an impressive win there. Lights to finish, lights the flag, whichever way you want to say it. Pretty impressive, and nearly got a fastest lap as well. He wasn't too far off if you look at it there. So our two winners so far were both in Hyundais. There's no way to say the Hyundai's the best car out there. It's definitely not the case. It's quick, granted, but pretty cool that the Hyundais are the only race winners here, and it could be in this race. If Zaraya Garunian can get himself a good start and stay out of trouble, he's certainly a hot favourite for the win in this race. As the drivers enter the server, they get a little bit of practice, as mentioned. So a little bit of PR for the Next Gen Power Max Racing WTCR League on Raceroom. Portimao this week, and then next week we'll be heading to Brands Hatch Indy. Any of you British touring car fans out there, you'll enjoy Brands Hatch Indy, as it was a pretty exciting climax to the British touring car season yesterday, in fact. Road America will be round 3. Road America is not the most popular track in the world, but believe me, it does provide some good touring car racing. That'll be one you don't want to miss out on. Circuit Zolder 4th, one of the most tricky tracks on Raceroom to overtake on. I mean, tonight is difficult for some drivers, but that one's just another level. Clean overtaking is probably the difficulty there, so it should be exciting. Autodrom Moss, not the most popular track in the world. It's mostly popular with bikes and trucks, but believe me, it's very good to race in touring cars. A very left to right, sweeping corner, riddled track in the Republic of Czech here. Then we got 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year, and we're back in Sweden. Quite a few Swedish drivers, so they'll feel right at home there for the Scandinavian Raceray and a Storp. Back over the Atlantic to America again for the Mid-Ohio circuit. Ningbo, which has hosted the World Touring Cars in the past. I think it might have been 2017, but it's a relatively new track to Raceroom, so these guys won't know it very well. That'll be one to look out for. Motorland Aragon is one of the most favoured circuits recently released by Raceroom. Recently hosted the WTCR finale, won by Jan Erlache. That'll be the penultimate round of the season. And, of course, all roads lead to Spa, don't they? Round 10 is at Spa-Francorchamps for the final round of the season. Again, guys, if you want to get involved in this league, all you have to do is join the Next Gen Racing group on Facebook. Get in touch with Lee Horne, and he'll get you involved in this series. If you already have a wheel and pedals, you're nearly there. The game is free. The content is not, but it doesn't cost that much. And believe me, it's worth the money to get involved in this series this game, these cars, and these tracks. Not long to go until we line up for race 3. Right, so as the guys line up on the grid, this is how they'll line up from 15th. Matt Adey will qualify. Sorry, will line up on pole position. I've got to stop saying that. Emil Holmberg will line up alongside in second. Chanonier is in third. Agan fifth. Sixth will be Garunian. And the lights are red. We're about to go for race 3. We're away. 18-minute race this is, a little bit longer. Bad start from Adey. Holmberg gets into the lead. A terrible start from Adey. The Swedish driver of Emil Holmberg gets away. Into turn 1, Ogu Zagan follows it in second place. Chanonier is in third. Race 1 winner, Zoran Garunian, is there in fourth place. They come around turn 4. Oh, and it's very wide for a lot of drivers there. Chanonier and Holmberg have gone wide onto the gravel. Ogu Zagan goes through into the lead. Terrible, terrible corner from Emil Holmberg. And Chanonier there, they dropped well down the order now. And it's a gaggle of cars as we approach the hairpin. 3 wide, is that? Yes, it's 3 wide. Fraser Rustance. Oh, and there's a spin there from a Honda. Well, a near spin anyway. We're 3 wide again. This is so difficult to keep up with, but that is William Fall battling with the likes of Justin Welbelev there. Oh, and a car goes off. Oh, Ogu Zagan went very, very... No, it wasn't. It was Jakobsen, and he's actually gone off the track. Nearly ended up on his roof in the kitty litter there. Ogu Zagan concedes first place to Zoran Garunian, belting first lap from the Ukrainian. We'll have to see if the Turkish driver can keep up and take the battle to him. They've got a bit of a gap from Jamie Dory, who had a blistering first lap. Just see where he started. Well, he would have started in an 11th place. Yeah, 11th place, and he's already in 3rd place. Great stuff from him. Lee Horne only started just in front of him. He's up to 5th. Impressive first lap for most of these drivers. William Fall outside for Ben Walker. Slow down penalty for the pole man. Not a good start to his race, but this is the battle between William Foyle and Ben Walker. William Foyle will not want Ben Walker getting back past him again. Who's the latest of the late breakers? Neither. Foyle on the outside, you might say he has the advantage, but now the inside. The advantage goes to Ben Walker. He'll outbrake William Foyle, and William Foyle will try and tuck back behind as quickly as possible. A little bit of contact to do so. Oh, and Jakobsen trying to capitalise on it. He actually, not Jakobsen, Leenberg nearly getting back past. Justin Welbelev gets alongside Leenberg. Has he taken the position? He might well have. Good move from Justin, and a slow down penalty for William Foyle. He went too wide coming out of that hairpin, and he's now got to serve a slowdown. Fraser Rustance battling with Jamie Dory for 3rd place. Out front, Zoran Garunian cruising away. We thought he would, but the race 1 winner out on his own at the moment. Justin Welbelev right behind William Foyle, who hasn't served his slowdown yet. He must know he has one. Oh, and Justin Welbelev hits William Foyle, and William goes sideways. He recovers, but Ben Walker gets his way past. He's lost a few positions to Justin there. And he might lose more. He might lose out to Jürgen Madsby Pedersen. He loses to Jeff Perkins as well. Oh, he won't be very happy in that Golf. William Foyle, Fraser Rustance battling with Lee Horne and Jamie Dory. The only next-gen driver missing from this is Neil Crave. Where is Neil Crave, in fact? No, he's not on the standings here. Neil Crave might not have made it into the race. That's a shame. The end of lap 2, Zoran Garunian out in front. 2 seconds clear of Ogu Zagan. This is the battle for third again. It's Fraser Rustance hunting down Jamie Dorey with Lee Horne right behind him. Hometown hero defending off Ben Walker. It is Arnaldo Guedes. We'll have to see if he can hang on. This is a good debut from Guedes. William Foyle seems to have served the slowdown, but he's down in 11th after Justin Welbel have tucked him sideways, and he lost a lot of positions as a result. I'm sure the post-race stewards will deal with the two of them later on after the race. But Ben Walker, Mr. Mover we're going to call him, making moves as he's got himself from 13th up to 7th so far. Oh, and a slowdown for Guedes right in front of him. Guedes might have run too wide. Yep, he slows down to take the slowdown penalty, and everyone's just going to cruise past him here. Welbel, Perkis, William Foyle, and Lindberg, and even Madsby Pedersen's going to get past. Still struggling is Guedes. That was looking like a good finish, well, as it stood. Back up towards Lindberg. He's right on the heel of Jeff Perkis. I think that's Jeff Perkis. Where is... Oh no, we're looking at Lee Horne. What am I on about? Yeah, Lee Horne managed to... And no, we're looking at Fraser Rustance now. Lee Horne still hasn't found his way past Fraser Rustance. Jeff Perkis right on the rear of Jonas Lindberg. Jeff, who started from near the back, would have started 21st place. Hunting down the top 8 here. He can't quite get there yet. But this is a brilliant, brilliant opening couple of laps from Jeff Perkis. The bigger move of the race so far, quite clearly. And he's got William Foyle, who's in 10th, right behind him, who will be looking to catch back up with Justin Welbel. Lee Horne still behind Fraser Rustance. He's going to go take a look, but not quite late enough on the brakes. Fraser didn't have much to worry about there. Lee Horne was a long way back, but sometimes it's easier to brake out of the slipstream, which is probably what Lee Horne was doing then. Ben Walker in 6th place is breaking away from Justin Welbel. It seems whenever Ben Walker gets himself into a position and there's clear air in front of him, no one can stop him. Force to be reckoned with at the moment. A battle brewing up between Lindberg, Jeff Perkis and William Foyle as Jeff Perkis tries it. Oh, contact with Jonas Lindberg. Somehow Jonas hangs on. It was a bit of a chop up the front from Jonas. Undertake from Jeff Perkis. Late break alongside Lindberg, but Lindberg shuts the door. Jeff Perkis has to take the curb to avoid. And all of this, William Foyle's just looking at, thinking, come on guys, we want to catch up. We don't want to be squabbling for this. But this is a case of Jeff Perkis saying, well, I think I'm quicker, I'm going to get myself in front. In fact, he might have got himself directly alongside. Jeff might have got himself into 8th place here. We haven't seen many people overtake on that front straight today, but Jeff Perkis has made it work. Gets himself into 8th place, defends into the hairpin. Expected a dive from Jonas Lindberg, and William Foyle tried to undertake Jonas Lindberg. Didn't quite work. William Foyle just can't seem to get an overtake quite in there at the moment. Nothing seems to work out for William Foyle right now. Justin Welbel have gone very slow out of the hairpin there. Not sure what happened to him. But back up the front, nearly. Lee Horne has made his way past Fraser Rustance. But these guys are catching up to Oguz Agan in 2nd place, who's dropping back more and more from Zariah Grunion, who's having his own race at the front now. You can't even see him, he's that far ahead. But Jamie Dory will be looking to get himself ahead of Oguz Agan for more championship points. But while Jamie Dory's got Agan to worry about, he's got his last season rival, Lee Horne, whom of which he Lee Horne held the lead of the championship for the majority of the season 18 championship, and on the final race of the season, Jamie Dorey did just enough to take the championship win on that final race. Jamie Dorey's looking very, very quick compared to Oguzaga, and we'll have to check back up on them soon because Jeff Perkis is very close to Justin Wellbeloved. That's how close, in fact. Jeff goes to the inside. Jeff backs out of it. But Justin goes wide. Jeff will be able to get up the inside here as they go into the hairpin. Justin shuts the door. That was a very, very nasty slam from Justin there. Oh, not sure if I agree with that, Justin. The stewards I might be looking at Justin quite a lot after this race. This is allowing William Foyle to catch up, who has passed Jonas Lindberg at some point in the last lap. Back towards the battle for second. Jamie Dorey not yet caught up with Oguzagan. Per-Andre Sturler is having a good battle with fellow Scandinavian driver Mats B. Pedersen in the Volkswagen there alongside him. They're going to go side by side towards Samsung, but Jürgen holds the position. Jürgen's having a good race out here. Went very wide going into Samsung, got away with it. Jamie Dorey has got Lee Horne catching him. A nice deep line going through Portimao. Not going to be enough to undertake or even overtake Outbreak Oguzagan just yet. It will come on another corner. Ben Walker right on the rear of Fraser Rostance now. They're thinking about championships already. Ben Walker be thinking about Lee Horne, who's in fact ahead of him at the moment. I would guess that Lee Horne is one of his biggest rivals right now. Now Justin Wellbeloved rather luckily hanging on to 7th based on the previous lap's escapades. Jeff really gaining on him in the slipstream there, and Jeff actually takes to the inside, can't quite outbrake Justin. It's a very difficult corner to outbrake on. Justin goes wide, the same thing again. No, Justin gives him room. Jeff's up the inside, Justin's taking a wider line. Will he be able to outrun him on acceleration? Yes, he can. He holds on to it. Not a great exit from Justin Wellbeloved though, as Jeff is able to get back up alongside. Narrow margins here, breaking into the hairpin. Jeff's got the outside into a hairpin, which is not the place you want to be. William Foyle and Jonas Lindberg right behind them now, and Jürgen Mats B. Pedersen and Sturler are catching up with them. Side by side still as they approach Samsung. Can Jeff sling it up the inside? No, he can't. Justin holds it off. William Foyle and Jonas Lindberg very close behind them now. Back up the front, Jamie Dorey's very close to Oguzagan, as is Lee Horne. When's the move coming? Here goes Jamie Dorey, not quite yet. William Foyle, 9th there. Jeff Perkis not quite going to get it yet. In fact, we've missed it. Oguzagan, something's happened to him. He's dropped off from these two. We're keeping an eye on Jeff Perkis and William Foyle, but we've missed out how Oguzagan lost that, and now it's a battle for second between Jamie Dorey and Lee Horne as they break clear of Oguzagan. It's a slow down penalty for Justin Wellbeloved. That happened literally on that corner. He might have cut it too much. And here goes Jeff Perkis. He's definitely going to make his way past Justin Wellbeloved now. He's ahead. And he breaks through. Jeff Perkis makes the move, and as we said last time, it's very rarely see overtakes on that straight and into turn 1. Jeff seems to be doing it all for us today. Ben Walker has managed to make his way past Fraser Rostance, and it's still a huge battle between Lee Horne and Jamie Dorey. Lee Horne's got the inside, and Lee Horne gets it into second place. Jamie Dorey undertakes back. It's going to be side by side as they come towards Samsung. battle hotting up between Sterler and Pedersen as well. Outside, Jamie Dorey, who's going to be the latest of the breakers? Oh, Jamie Dorey round the outside. Wow, how did Jamie Dorey do that? Brilliant from Jamie. Held the outside line on such a difficult corner. Gets back into second place. Now Lee Horne has got to find another way of getting past Jamie Dorey. Will Fall and Jonas Lindberg have retired from the race. Something must have happened between them two. And in fact, Justin has disappeared from the timing screen as well. Oh dear. That can't have been a pretty ending. Alexander Jakobsen down in 13th, battling with Roy Plummer. But Jeff Perkis out on his own now. He had well-beloved Lindberg and Foyle to worry about. He's got none of them to worry about now. Just Sterler potentially catching up with him now. Garunian is long gone in first place. Nearly 9 seconds clear of these two. These two will battle for that silver cup. Justin's popped back up on the timing screen there. Now disappeared. So something's happened to him. Lee Horne. Good run out of the corner there. Can he get enough run down into the hairpin? Jamie Dorey tries his intention to defend the corner. Good run out of the hairpin from Lee Horne there. Decides to change his mind. He wants to go for the outside, but ends up going too wide. Lost a bit of momentum. Oh, Lee Horne struggled to find the apex of that corner there. It's going to be a wide late entry. Wide entry, late exit, should I say. But Jamie Dorey hanging on. More shallow line from Lee Horne. Going through Portimao then. Is he able to get a late exit here and put it up the inside? No, not quite. Not going to happen here. Ben Walker has caught up to Oguz Agan. Nearly. Very nearly. And this could well be a 4th place in the making. Now, just in case, I know the timer has screwed us a little bit, but Zaraya Garunia comes across the line to start his final lap. Hey, I got it this time. One more lap for Lee Horne to do it. Big run up on him. Oh, and contact on Jamie Dorey. Way too late on the brakes. They both make it through unscathed. That was a close one. Ben Walker is real close to Oguzagan. He's going to try the outside. Undercut. And then another. It's very impressive driving from Ben Walker today. Well, in fact, yep, there we go. Ben Walker completes the, well, nearly completes the move. Oguzagan with a brilliant comeback there. But while we're on the subject, I do want to give driver of the day, my driver of the day anyway, to Ben Walker. He has been brilliant today. His overtaking's been quality, and he might have come out of here as the championship leader. But back to this battle for 2nd and 3rd. We'll keep an eye on Zaraya. We'll keep an eye on Ben Walker. Here goes Lee Horne. Not quite going to make it up the inside. Ben Walker, look to the outside then. He's going to try the late move. Lee Horne, not quite close enough. He might have run out of ideas now. Might have run out of time. Ben Walker, round the outside of Oguzagan. Will he be able to hold it and keep the inside for the next corner? No, not quite. This has gone away from Jamie Dorey and Ben Walker. This has gone away from Lee Horne and Ben Walker for their positions. But Zaraya Garunian, dominant drive in this race. He takes home the win in race 3. A double winner today is Zaraya. Jamie Dorey thanks his pit crew. Takes home 2nd with Lee Horne in 3rd. And it's a photo finish for 4th. Oguzangan takes it, but not by much at all. Ben Walker is 5th. Fraser Rostance will take 6th place with Jeff Perkins in 7th. Sterler will take 8th place. Pedersen with an impressive 9th place. Holmberg will come 10th. He started 2nd and had a bad opening lap, running wide. Oh, but he'll take 10th. Oh dear. Oh dear. Raceroom's finishes, eh? But your race winner today, Zoraya Grunian, and I believe Ben Walker will be the championship leader after today. Before next week's stream, we will give you an update on the drivers' standings. Can't know them here and there, sadly. But it's been an impressive drive from Zoraya Grunian to also mention him today. Very impressive driving for him to take 2 wins. Got really unlucky in race 2. It's also been a good drive today from Lee Horne. Got himself 2 podium, in fact 2 second place finishes today, and Ben Walker got himself 2 third place finishes today. Very nearly got 3, in fact. Just 1 place off. Jamie Dory, he'll be fairly pleased with how he's done tonight. Says first, but it isn't. He would have taken home. He'll be taking home 2nd in this race. But a good start to his championship defending season. I'm surprised he's not taken the #1 car. Did say that last week. But yeah, for those of you who are watching, thank you for watching tonight. We're going to try and get an interview with Lee Horne so we can just explain a little bit about the series before we head off. We'll have to read the results before. But yeah, do tune in next week, a week today, for Brands Hatch Indy, round 2. We are going to drag in Lee Horne for a quick interview. I don't think we can, actually. I don't think we've got capability to, so we'll have to ignore that for now. We'll try and get an interview with Lee Horne next time, just to explain the series a bit. But find us on Facebook. Facebook is the group NXTGEN Racing. Join that to get involved in the series, or just to stay in touch with the news on NXTGEN and this league, of course. And there we go. Zoraya Grunian is your race winner and fastest lap holder with a 51.1, which is incredible. Jamie Dory takes 2nd place with his teammate Lee Horne in 3rd. Oguzangan 4th. Ben Walker 5th. Fraser Rostance in 6th with Jeff Perkins, a good comeback from his disappointing race 2 to finish 7th. Per-Andre Sterler in 8th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen, a good rise up the order to 9th. Emil Holmberg with a disappointing opening lap takes 10th. Chenonier, with good consistent racing today, takes 11th. Roy Plummer takes 12th. Alexander Jakobsen 13th. Arnaldo Guedes, a disappointing third race in comparison to race 1 and 2, takes 14th. Stephen de Gravelia makes up for a disappointing race 1, takes 15th. Matthew Adey, who was pole position, had a terrible start to take 15th. And the rest of it was pretty much DNF. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching today. We'll catch you next week for round 2 at Brands Hatch Indy. I've been Alex Everett. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.